Hey everybody, Kelly Flip with Kelly. How you all doing today? Yesterday I locked up a deal down at the title company. Seller actually gave me a ride down there, and then today I just sent off the assignment of contract along with the P&S agreement, because you got to give that to the buyer. Anytime he's got to take over your contract, they got to see what it is that they're taking over. So sent that over, and having a little coffee this morning. But so got my X leads. I had one lead today. So I'm mailing that out, and then on Saturdays I go over all the probates that I've already previously pulled them, but some they get updated once a week. I recycle them, so I do that for 3 months, and so I'll get them printed off here. Then I make a trip down to the post office every day. Not every day, because I don't really do anything on Sunday with it, but I take a trip down there Monday through Saturday, speed the lead, so get them out. And I also have a cold calling them. Now, if you want to cold call them, you can. It's going to increase your chances, because for one, you send a letter out, there's no guarantee they're going to receive it. But there's two different ways of doing it. Number one way, if you don't have a whole lot of time, maybe you've got a day job or whatever, or maybe you got this serious problem of you're closing too many deals and you just don't have time, whatever it is. You send your letters out, or your direct mail, your postcards, sticky notes, whatever, and you only call the ones that you cannot reach by mail. How do you know that? You get return mail, comes back to you. You return mail, you go on cyber, you go on the county website, you go on cyber, you look around, and maybe you got return mail a couple times on this lead, or this prospect. You can't reach them. You've tried. So then what you can do is you can call or text. You can go on Facebook. There's a lot of different ways, right, to try to reach out to these sellers. Or the other way is so that's the first way, only call the ones that you can't reach by mail. The other way you can do it is prioritize your lists, right? Like your government lists, and then your X leads or your software, and start calling and or texting everybody. And I would suggest starting with your highest priority ones, because if you run out of time, then at least your efforts were made on the higher priority ones, and then it just trickles down to, it's best to get through all of them, obviously, but if you can't get through all of them, for sure be hitting them top ones, because those are going to be your money makers, your hotter leads. So you the ones you potentially make the most money on, and the ones you're doing the most volume of deals on, that type of list, and maybe the ones that that's where I would start, and and then the highest probability of closing. Obviously, if you got a track record, you can look back and see which ones are closing for the most highest amount of money. And then maybe depending on your priorities, if you need the money today versus months from now, then you could rank them that way. But it's not of interest to me. I'd be going after the more money and the per deal, and then the most deals. So the volume, the quantity, as well as the price point. But yeah, every Saturday I'm checking to see if there's a new PR. Very simple system set up, and I don't go out past 90 days. You could take it out a year or two if you want. I know some of them will just, after they get so old, just throw it into your bulk list, and you could follow up, mail them, however you do your follow up, right? I do it that way. So but yeah, so my cash buyer's in Florida right now, so I instead of giving them 24 48 hours to get that EMD in, I just emailed them the contracts over and I notated that the seller is willing to close sooner if possible, and then also that about put the date out about a week, because I know you're on vacation. So just putting yourself in their shoes, making things easy for both the seller and the buyer, looking after their interests. And then now it's just going to be 3 weeks till closing, so make sure the seller don't have an email. He's 80 years old, so it'll be a texting. Just keep him updated once a week. Not that he's going to get cold feet, but if I was the seller, I would want to know just a little reassurance, things are progressing in the right direction, or if you got any questions, that type of thing. I gave him a copy of the P&S when we were at the title company, so he's got the closing date, and the title company got his phone number. So just that deal will march towards the finish line. I don't expect any problems, but you don't count the deal as done until the funds have settled in your account. What does settled in your account mean? I've had checks, not from a wholesale deal, but I done construction work for 30 years, and a few years back, I had a guy write me out a rubber check. After working 30 years, it was the first rubber check I was ever written, and it was a pretty sizable check. Had whatever, $8,000 land in my account, my bank account. I'm thinking, oh, cool. Nope. Bank calls me up. Rubber check. So then they're like, well, you got to bring that money back to us. So, of course, I'm going to be responsible. I'm not going to screw the bank over. Painfully gave that money back. Yeah, just because if you got online banking, just because you see that money is in your bank account, that doesn't necessarily mean it's settled. Maybe depending on your bank or your financial institution, you can ask them if you want. But I believe mine is like maybe, I don't know, a couple weeks before it settles. So now generally if it's coming from the title company, you probably won't have them type of problems. But yeah, and this side note on that construction rubber check, he didn't only write me out rubber check. He wrote out the junk hauler, junk removal guy. He actually called me up And he's like, hey, do you know this guy? He's like, that guy screwed me over for $30-some thousand. And I'm thinking, oh, I guess my 8,000 wasn't so bad. He's like, yeah. He says, I called him up and told him I was on my way over, and you better scrape together some money for me, because I mean the guy owed 30,000. He was pretty upset, and he got over there, and I guess he did give him 5,000, but still owes him 25,000 or 30,000 yet. And but what do you do? I got reimbursed a fraction of that 8,000 through the DA or assistant DA. And here's another little note. When somebody writes you a check, like in this construction, make sure that their driver's license is on that check. You need an identifier, because there could be two John Does, right? So when if you ever do get a rubber check and you go to the assistant DA to get your money, to see if they can get your money back for you, if they don't have a check with their driver's license number on there, sometimes they won't even take the case on. It's like if you ever been into like Farm and Fleet or some big box, Fleet Farm, some big box store, and you write them a check and then they ask for your driver's license, they will write your driver's license number on the check, and that's the reason why they do that. So I don't know, where are we at? 12 minutes here almost. Could ramble on here for a little longer, I guess, but yeah, Rick and Zach have made an incredible, life-changing stuff in my life, and much appreciation to both of those gentlemen. And it was just 2024 I actually did my first legit wholesale deal from start to finish. Had an awesome partner, Brady, and I don't know, I've got another partner, Martha, lives down in Milwaukee. We do JV deals together, so we do 50-50 split. And sometimes these deals are about speed. We had one deal where I mailed out a letter. I thought, at least back at the time, it was as fast as I could do it. Had a pretty consistent system set up. Basically pulled the lead from the county website and mailed it out the next day. Now today I do it a little different. I get them out even a little sooner if I'm not busy. If my day is jam-packed, filled, that's pretty much because I don't outsource it. I do it myself yet, but it's going to be the following day. But if I'm not busy, I can actually pull that lead and get it out in the mail the same day that it comes out. Post office closes at 5, so if I can get down there before then. But anyways, back then, mailed the deal out the day after. It probably takes a couple, 2-3 days, I'm assuming, to get to Milwaukee. To the seller responded. I immediately emailed my partner, and she flew over there. Now, I couldn't have got there that fast, because it's a 3.5 hour drive, but I mean, I suppose I could lock the deal up virtually over the phone. Sometimes there's that belly to belly. So she got there a half an hour before the next interested buyer was coming out to do a walkthrough. Got a signed contract, locked it up. She was smart enough to have the seller call off the other buyers, to protect our contract so somebody doesn't go around us. And that was a $20K for her, $20K for me split. So that was a $40K deal when we've done more than one of those. And so JV partners, in my opinion, are invaluable. Do you always need to do JV? Not necessarily, but do you know which one? There is no 100% for sure guarantee that a deal is going to cross that finish line, and then depending on how you handle it. So I guess if you really need the money, how bad do you need it? And a JV partner can guarantee that either you get 20,000 or you get goose eggs, right? What are you gonna do? So yeah, there are advantages, and that dispo is a fair amount of work too, right? You gotta do your walkthrough, and then you've got to take pictures or video. Nowadays I just take video, but some people prefer pictures. You gotta walk cash buyers through. You gotta find the cash buyer. You got to filter those. You got to qualify those cash buyers, so you don't have somebody that's got to go around you. You know, and there's contracts involved. So yeah, obviously the marketing is how you find them. That's number one. Without that, you got nothing. Acquisitions, that's, developing trust and connecting with the seller through rapport, and then just like I did yesterday, getting that contract signed and getting that down to the title. And there's always a chance there could be something comes back on title, some lien or something goofy there. So never count the chickens before the eggs hatch. And yeah, I guess I'm gonna get busy here. Still learning a lot on X leads. Might go national on that deal they have. I'm thinking I kind of want to, because I've been wanting to go out into other states, and I'm familiar with these JVs, and there's several of these houses I've never been to that I've done deals on, and you're talking 10s or 20s or 30s or 40s of thousands of dollars per deal. So but anyways, plenty to do in my state of Wisconsin here, and yeah, staying plenty busy for sure. And but they are doing some crazy stuff with that software. So hats off to Zach and Rick. So thank you guys. Thank you for the whole M2M. And yeah, if you have any interest in getting mentored, I've got a certain system, and I've been with these guys for years, and so I've got a lot of knowledge up here. And if you'd like that hand holding, that one-on-one, it's super reasonable down below if you want to get in on that. And otherwise, just shoot me a question in the comments, and I'll help you out. So this is Kelly. Punch the like button, kick it, stomp it, and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.